Have you ever felt like you're riding a bicycle, but the wheels just keep spinning, and you're not getting anywhere? The world around you is constantly changing, but you still feel like you're standing still, right? Every time you decide to do something, whether it's learning a new skill, starting to exercise, or even something as simple as cleaning your room, you end up in the same old cycle of procrastination. But here's the truth. If you don't do it right now, when will you? Definitely not tomorrow, not next week, and probably not even next year. Why? Because you've been saying the same thing since last year. But you know what? That's actually a good thing. Because today, I'm going to share with you how to reignite that fire inside of you. You don't need to wait for the new year or some miracle to start. Start today to make this year really count. And I'm not here to tell you to try harder or just keep pushing and you'll succeed. No, today I'm going to share a simple yet incredibly effective way for you to take back control of your life. There was a time when I was just like you. I used to say a lot, this year will be my year. But no, I didn't do anything. I let life sweep me away, letting work, fatigue, and little excuses take up my time. I missed so many opportunities just because I thought, I don't have time or it's not the right time yet. Until one day I realized, if I don't do it right now, when will I? I decided to change my mindset, change my approach, and I want to share what I've learned with you in this process. And I know you're probably in the same boat. You want to change, you want to improve your life, but you feel like you don't have enough time, enough energy, or simply don't know where to start. So, I want you to think about this throughout this video. If you can make just a small change each day, you'll see surprising results. And that's exactly what I want you to do today. Take one small step and start now. But I know the question is still there. How can I do that when every time I start, I just end up quitting? The answer is simple. You need to change the way you think about starting. Imagine if you could break down your big goals into smaller, simpler steps. Could you actually reach your destination? In this video, I won't just talk about vague goals like getting better or creating change. No, we're going to start from the ground up, from managing your time, building effective habits, to creating systems that help you achieve your goals. You'll be equipped with practical tools and strategies to take immediate action. And don't worry, I won't bore you with dry theory. Just keep watching, and you'll discover simple yet powerful tips that you can apply right away in your life. We'll embark on this journey of change together, and trust me, you'll see life become more colorful than ever before. Number 1. Time management. The illusion of no time. Have you ever wondered, why do I never have time to do the things I enjoy? But then, after checking, you realize you just spent 2 hours watching videos about cats and their bad habits on TikTok. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? I'm sure you said, I don't have time, maybe because of work, studying, or just feeling like life is too busy. But the truth is, you do have time. You just haven't figured out how to use it effectively. Let's say you have 24 hours in a day. If you sleep for 8 hours, work or study for another 8 hours, and spend 2 hours eating and resting, that leaves you with 6 hours. Sounds like not much, right? But actually, if you take a closer look at your day, those 6 hours aren't as little as you think. What have you been doing with that time? Scrolling through Facebook, watching YouTube, or maybe just staring at the clock. I know, right now you might feel a little guilty, and I don't want you to feel that way. But here's the thing, we have this precious asset called time, and how you use it determines whether or not you'll reach your goals. To use time effectively, it's important to clearly identify what's most important in your day. You can create a to-do list and break it down, then organize your time accordingly. For example, you could spend 30 minutes every morning working out, 1 hour in the evening learning a new skill, and the rest of the time for family and relaxation. You'll find that when the important things are scheduled, you can get a lot done without feeling pressured. But don't stop at just making a plan. Take action right now. Imagine if you could spend just 15 minutes each day doing something small you love. In just 1 month, you'll have 450 minutes for things you've always wanted to do. Now that you know how to manage your time, the next important step is to make the most of the resources you have. And trust me, the world today is full of free learning opportunities. But are you using them correctly? Let's dive into that in the next part. Number 2, leveraging free resources, the wealth of knowledge at your fingertips. Did you know that you're carrying a treasure in your pocket? Not gold or gems, but your smartphone. That's right, with just a few taps on your phone, you have access to an endless wealth of knowledge. So why is it that so many people say they don't have the knowledge or don't have enough resources to learn? We live in an age where free learning resources are everywhere. You can learn anything: programming, marketing, cooking, even how to draw or play a new instrument. If you want to learn how to take care of a goldfish, I bet there are millions of free tutorial videos out there for you. All you need is an internet connection. Let me give you an example. Before I became someone who creates videos and content, I was just an ordinary person. One fine day, I decided I wanted to learn video editing. I had no background in it whatsoever. But then I found a ton of free courses on YouTube. Just a few weeks later, I had learned how to edit videos, create effects, and use software that I thought only professionals could master. And it's not just YouTube. You can also find free courses on platforms like Coursera, edX, or even online learning communities on Facebook and Reddit. This way of learning is perfect for anyone eager to improve but doesn't want to spend too much money. Free resources are abundant. The real question is, are you ready to open your eyes and reach out for them? Don't just scroll through TikTok hoping something will pop up instantly. Use that time to explore videos and free courses that could change your life. All right, so now you're ready to learn and gather knowledge. But just learning isn't enough. What's important is turning what you've learned into real action. And that's where we need to talk about something essential: systems. You know, there are people who learn a lot but still don't achieve the results they want. Why is that? Let's find out in the next part. Number 3, setting goals and building systems, the power of structure. Have you ever heard the saying, "What's a goal if you don't have a plan to achieve it?" It sounds pretty straightforward, right? But in reality, many of us simply set goals without building a system to actually reach them. Imagine this. You decide that this year you're going to lose weight, or maybe you want to learn a new language. Sounds great, right? But what do you actually do next? Do you have a regular workout plan? Are you eating healthy? Or do you just jump on the scale at the end of the week to see if there's been any change? And when it comes to learning a new language, do you have a structured study routine? Or do you just open the app a few times and then forget about it? I have a friend who was really determined to learn cooking. She said, "This year, I'm going to become a great chef." So she downloaded a bunch of recipes, signed up for online cooking courses, but in the end, she forgot to actually practice. She didn't have a clear plan to apply those recipes every day. As a result, she learned a lot of theory, but never actually made any delicious dishes. That's because the goal was clear, but there was no system in place. A goal needs to be accompanied by a system to support you in reaching it. A system isn't just about doing something every day. It's about building habits and creating a solid structure that keeps you on track. Someone might have a goal to lose weight, but if they don't have healthy eating habits and consistent workouts, that goal will always remain a dream. You need to create a system that helps you maintain persistence. Build the system before you set the goal. Setting a goal is important, but you can't do it without a plan and habits to turn that goal into reality. The system will be small, consistent steps that help you persevere and achieve long-term results. All right, now you understand that the system is key. But have you ever felt exhausted by all the things you have to do every day? Because success isn't always an easy journey. So, how do you get through those hard moments? Don't worry, we'll explore how to embrace the grind in a light and easy way in the next part. Number 4, Embracing the grind. Why success is not always fun. You've probably heard many people say that success is an exciting journey, full of thrilling moments and victories. But let me tell you a little truth. True success often isn't as fun as it seems. In fact, most of the time, success comes from incredibly boring, tiring tasks, and sometimes there's nothing exciting about it at all. Think about exercising. Do you remember your first time at the gym, feeling like a newbie? Those days when your muscles were sore, your back was aching, and you kept wondering, am I doing this wrong? Or when you decided to learn a new skill, like playing the guitar. The first few days, you probably just wanted to throw the guitar against the wall because your fingers hurt and you couldn't play a single song properly. I have a friend who's a blogger. Every day she sits for hours, writing detailed posts, researching and editing every single sentence. And trust me, it's not always as fun as it looks. But she didn't give up, even though some of those days weren't as pretty as the ones on Instagram or motivational videos. After a while of persistence, her readership grew and her work started stabilizing and yielding real results. That's because she understood that all success goes through a grind phase, those boring tasks we have to do every single day. So, the question is, why are those boring tasks necessary? The reason is that success isn't a giant leap. It's a series of small steps, no matter how tedious or hard they may feel. If you want to achieve something big, you need to do the little things consistently and stick with them. Don't expect every step to be an exciting adventure. Sometimes you have to embrace those tough moments and stay persistent with them. Success doesn't come from big things you do in one day. It comes from the small steps you keep doing every single day. Number 5, the power of systems. How routines can change your life. Have you ever wondered why successful people often share that seemingly boring piece of advice? Build good habits? It sounds simple, but it actually holds a tremendous power that we easily overlook. So, how can systems and habits truly change your life? Think about a typical day of yours. Have you ever felt like you're rushing through each hour without actually accomplishing anything meaningful? You wake up, have your coffee, check your phone, and start working without a clear plan. Before you know it, the day is over and you realize you haven't achieved much. But when you have a system, a series of repeated actions, you'll find yourself more motivated, and by the end of the day, you'll feel like you've actually accomplished something. Let's compare two people. One person has no plan and works based on inspiration. Every day they start working randomly and stop when they're tired. On the other hand, the second person has a clear plan. 30 minutes in the morning to plan their day, 30 minutes at noon to learn a new skill, and in the evening they read or watch educational videos. Who do you think will get better results? Definitely the one with a system. A system isn't just a rigid formula. It's about organizing your activities in the most effective way. The formula is simple. Habits is system and commitment. When you build a system and commit to following it regularly, you'll start noticing changes in your life day by day. Sometimes you don't need to do something grand. You just need to stick with a small system. Don't worry if you can't do everything at once. Start with small, easy-to-follow systems that you can maintain. For example, every morning, spend just 10 minutes planning your day. If you do this every day, you'll find yourself becoming more proactive, and that will lead to big changes in your life. Number 6, overcoming fear of action. How to stop being a passive consumer. If you've ever sat down to watch success videos, inspiring stories, and felt that spark of motivation inside, only to end up doing nothing at all, you're not alone. That's a very familiar feeling for those who get stuck in the cycle of consuming information without taking action. Sometimes we can spend a whole day scrolling through how-to videos on YouTube, reading articles about successful people, or even following online courses. Everything seems great, right? But the problem is you're just absorbing and not applying. You think to yourself, oh, I'm learning, I'm preparing. but in reality, you're just consuming, not acting. I have a friend who always dreamed of becoming a writer. Every day, he would spend hours reading books on writing, attending online writing classes, and researching bit by bit about how to write a great novel. But guess what? He never actually started writing a single story. It was because he was afraid of making mistakes, of not being good enough. So instead of writing, he kept browsing the web, reading more, and feeling even less capable. But one day, he decided to ignore the fear and write just one page. And you know what? After finishing that first page, he felt an indescribable joy. It turns out, taking action wasn't as scary as he thought, and gradually, he finished his first book. Don't let the fear of failure or imperfection stop you from taking action. Every small step you take will bring you closer to your goal. Act, even if you're not perfect yet, because mistakes are the valuable lessons that help you grow. Are you ready to overcome the fear and start taking action? But taking action is just one part, and another important part is managing and maintaining your focus throughout the process. So, how do you keep your motivation high and avoid distractions? Let me share with you an incredibly effective tip in the next part. Number 7, prioritizing what matters, letting go of balance. Everyone loves to hear about life balance, right? The truth is, no one wants a life that's anything less than perfect, with time for work, relaxation, family, and still having time for travel or doing what you love. But here's the truth that not many people talk about. Balance is actually a trap. Think about it. You can't balance everything in life and still achieve big goals. If you want to do everything perfectly, you'll end up doing a little bit of everything. Imagine you want to learn a new skill, work out, work, spend time with your family, and still have time to relax. Do you think you can do all these things really well? The answer is no. And that's totally okay. I have a friend who runs an online business. She used to believe in balancing everything, working 8 hours a day, exercising for an hour, spending time with friends and family every evening, and still wanting to read books, learn more about marketing. The result? She felt burnout and wasn't getting anything done properly. After a while, she realized that if she wanted her business to grow, she needed to put her work first. That doesn't mean ignoring everything else, but she had to accept that sometimes work would take priority and other things would have to take a back seat. And you know what? She successfully grew her business beyond expectations because she learned how to prioritize what really mattered. She stopped trying to balance and instead created a sensible order of priorities for each phase of her life. Don't be afraid to let go of the unimportant stuff when you need to focus on your big goals. Life doesn't always have to be balanced. It's about prioritizing what matters most at any given time. Sometimes you need to say no to things that don't align, so you can say yes to opportunities that truly help you move forward. Number 8, taking action and commitment, the real path to success. We all know the saying, easier said than done. That's why so many people start with grand plans but never actually finish them. Setting goals is easy, but actually taking action and committing to them is what truly matters. The truth is, action is the deciding factor. You can learn all the knowledge in the world, have big goals, but if you don't actually take action, everything will remain just thoughts in your head. Success doesn't come from thinking. It comes from doing. It's the same for me. When I first started making videos, I had tons of ideas. But I had to commit to taking action every day. Planning, shooting, editing, posting. Even though sometimes I felt exhausted, I kept going. And now I can see the incredible results I've created just because I didn't give up. There's no substitute for action. Don't wait for everything to be perfect before you start. Start right now, even if you don't feel ready. The longer you wait, the further you move away from your goals. Small actions every day will bring you closer to success. Now, you might be asking yourself, so what do I do next? Is this my year? Here's the answer. You get to decide. You are the one holding the key to unlock a new year, a new opportunity, and the life you've always wanted. Don't let anyone or anything hold you back. Remember, a new year starts with a small decision, a decision to act, to commit, and to create a solid system for yourself. There's no tomorrow to start over. If you want to change your life, start today. Commit, take action, and keep going. The new year isn't a miracle. It's an opportunity for you to begin again, and you are the one who makes that happen. Now, as you're ready to do all this, I want you to do one thing right now. Share with me what you're going to start doing today. Let me know, and I'll be with you every step of the way.